the area of a circle, area equals pi r squared. Okay? Now, if you're given the diameter, I guess you can technically have a second formula, and that be A equals pi times the diameter divided by 2 squared. Okay? Or if you really want to get fancy with it, we can go the area is equal to pi times the diameter squared divided by 4. If we want to get really fancy with it. I would just divide it by 2, square it, and multiply it by pi. That's the easier way to do it. So it says, find each indicated measure. What is the area of the circle with a radius of 2.5 centimeters? So, go to our formula. Area equals pi times 2.5 squared. What are we going with? 19.63. .63 centimeters squared. So now it says find the diameter of a circle with an area of 113 square centimeters. So now we're going to work a little bit backwards, or a lot backwards. We're trying to find the diameter. So what I would do is go to this new fancy diameter type equation that we have right here. What am I going to plug in for A? 113.1. Very good. Now, since I kind of cut some off here, I'm going to go over here and go 113.1. And I'm going to do it above. So this is really this problem right here. Equals, bless you, pi times the diameter divided by 2 squared. So we're going to need to do about 3 things. First thing I want to do, I'm trying to get d by itself. So I'm trying to get the diameter by itself. So in doing that, how do I get rid of pi? Divide by pi. So if I divide 113.1 and if I divide by pi, I'm going to get 36. There's a lot of zeros in there, so we're just going to call it 36 equals d divided by 2 squared. Now what do I need to get rid of? Square root it. I need to get rid of that squared. So perfect, it's 36. So what's the square root of 36? 6. So 6 is equal to d divided by 2. So now how do I get d by itself? Multiply by 2. So the diameter is 12 centimeters. Five-mile radius. I need to find the area, or the actual area that I have of that circle. So if the area of my circle, pi r squared, so my area is 25 pi. So of that circle, if it's a 5-mile radius, 25 pi, let's call it 78.54 square miles. There are 430,000 people in that circle, okay, living within that circle. It wants to know how many people are per mile. Okay, so I'm going to take the 430,000 and I'm going to divide by 78.54. So 430,000 divided by 78.54. So approximately 5,474.91 people. Oop, not pre, but per. So 5,475 people per square mile, about, okay? We're going to do the same thing, just like we did yesterday with the circumference when we talked about the arc length, but now, like yesterday whenever we dealt with the arc length, we talked about like the crust of the pizza, like how long is the crust of the pizza. Now we're basically figuring out the area of the slice of pizza or pie or cake or whatever you want to call it. Okay, it's set up the same way, so I'm still going to have to figure out what the proportion or the ratio of my section or the sector of my circle is. Okay, the easiest way to think about a sector is a full section. Okay, it's like if I cut a piece of pie or cake or whatever you want to call it out of my circle, took it out here, and it's gone. Okay, how much did I take out? What is the area that I have? So it says find the areas of the sector formed by UTV. So in this case, if I take out 70, so I'm basically going to set it up the same way and have 70 degrees divided by 360 because that hasn't changed. It's still 360 degrees all the way around. And then I'm just going to multiply it by whatever my full area is, or pi r squared. So I'm going to take that 70, basically 70 over 360, and I'm going to multiply it by 64 pi. Now, how did I get 64 pi? I squared 8, right? So 70 divided by 360 is 1.94 repeating. Multiply that by 64 pi. So about 39.10 inches squared. Okay, that's the part in red. That's what I took out. Okay, I took 39 square, almost a little over 39 square inches out of my circle.